Hey everybody, and welcome to the Game Addicts Podcast, episode 4, exclusively, right here on the YouTube channel for the Journey in the Comics podcast, and we are crossing over to the Journey in the Comics main feed, episode 102. So some like comic book little crossover stuff. You know how other comic books cross over and said, for this one episode it's this, one episode it's that. Are you alright?
No.
Why?
I don't know. Continue.
Are you going somewhere?
No.
Yeah, because you looked at me like, I gotta go.
No, I do not have to go.
This is your host, Brando, right along with my co-host, Mike. He's back. How's it going?
In the saddle again.
I know, yeah. So we did episode 3 live from Villains Con, and Mike couldn't make it. So my good friends Tony Jenkins and Daniel Connor sat in with us and talked about some E3 stuff and kind of what we wanted to see, and then tangented off into just Nowheresville. So that episode was kind of weird and funky. This episode is going to be our sort of E3 discussion. I don't necessarily want to call it a review per se. Maybe we'll review some of the like overall press conferences, but because I called last year's episode a review, and we didn't really review it. We just went through every single freaking topic and every bit of detail that we could.
Right.
And it went 2 hours and 47 minutes. We're going to try not to do that. Wes is not here, unfortunately. We invited him. It didn't work out time-wise because there's only a few days that we could actually do this show. E3 is still going on today. I think today is the last day.
Today's the last day.
I looked for any last-minute stuff as of 4:35 p.m. on Thursday. So if anything gets announced after this, well, we're not covering it. So, but I want to get back into what we were doing because we were trying to set up sort of a mojo, a something we do, a format. That's the word I'm looking for. So, Mike, it has been over a month since we last talked on the podcast.
On the podcast.
Yes. What have you been playing?
Well, I finally finished 100% of Far Cry.
Far Cry Primal.
Primal, yes. And I have been diving into Final Fantasy X, and then I've been kind of trying to find something to get a good groove in, and then I finally went and picked up Explorers a couple days ago, and I have been Explorers. Final Fantasy Explorers, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Great game. It's basically a mix-up between Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy. And it's a lot of fun.
And that is on the 3DS.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, cool. Now, there were a few other games that you played. And granted, okay, it's been over 30 days since we've talked.
Yes.
Didn't you say that you completed Twilight Princess on Wii U?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I'm just kind of going back through.
I don't bring that up because I've played it so many times.
That doesn't matter.
But, yes, I did go back through it on the Wii U.
Was it good?
So that's a new, yes, fantastic.
Awesome. I can't wait to play it myself. And then I also brought over and let you try Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4, which is fantastic.
That's pretty much the only thing I've been playing for the last month is the Uncharted series. I bought Uncharted 4, got mailed to me, day release. Amazon Prime, guys. Seriously, $48 for that game.
They're on it.
Dude, I get to go home from work and just get home and unwrap it and put it in.
20% off.
Yeah, 20% off if you have Prime. Granted, if you don't want Prime and you still want that deal, you go to Best Buy, get their Gamers Club Unlocked, get the same deal for $30 for like 2 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So we were gonna have Prime anyway, so I'm not gonna pay extra for that, but to go to Gamers Club. But I did play Uncharted 4. Thought it was absolutely amazing. I wish Wes could be here because we could probably talk 30 minutes on it. And I think he wants to. I think the next time we do an episode, we're going to try and get him on. Okay. And we're going to kind of review Uncharted 4. Even though it'll be like 2 months removed from that, it'll still be cool to talk about it because it was great. And by that time, hopefully, maybe you'll have completed it by then. Because
I got to go through. I haven't played any of the Drake series at all.
Well, I mean, I really hope that you enjoy it, and I think you will, even if going back. I did notice the facial animations for the first game are a little cartoony, but they were just coming off of Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, at that point, you're looking for the groove that they get into. I mean, that's where they set the tone for the series, and as being a gamer and a retro gamer, I look past.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you do. And graphics and engine, because you can definitely tell the jump between 1 and 2. When you start playing 2, you'll be like, okay, they figured out what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then they just improved it with 3, and then 4 is almost like they mastered it. They really mastered it almost with The Last of Us, even though it's a different kind of game. It's the same engine, so they just took that same engine and said, look, if we make that with an Uncharted game, let's do it. And then that's what they did. Before that, I was playing Persona 4 Golden on the Vita. and I will be getting back to it after I complete.
How far through the school year are you?
I am in August. So you start in April. I am in August. I quit to play Uncharted 4, and I knew I was going to. I knew I was going to. That's not usually if I get kind of off kilter. I will never go back to a game. But I finally went back to it, and I knocked out a good few months of that game in the school year. And I'm at a point where like I got done with something a little early than what the game really allots you the time to get it done.
Right.
So now every day I'm just hanging out with people and strengthening my bonds and all that stuff. So I'm not doing anything yet for in the game. There's like an event. There's like a festival event coming up, and I've got like a week to go to that. And I just decided, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and quit, and because it's at a sort of a relaxed moment in the story, so that way when I get back into it, it's still fresh up here in my mind. I'm not that far removed from it that I don't remember what's going on. Unlike when I went back to it this last time where I was like,
what do I do?
Who am I? What am I doing? How do I do this? But no, this time it's a lot better. I will be getting back to it because I do want to beat it before Persona 5 comes out next year. Although I don't think I'll beat Persona 5 before Mass Effect comes out if those dates are indeed so close together. Speaking of Mass Effect.
Yes.
So we're going to go through the EA press conference. I have papers. I have notes. So yes. People listening to the podcast, you're going to hear me like shuffling through papers like a real professional.
Will we turn into the professional Game Addicts Podcast?
No, we're still amateur. So EA had their first sort of away from E3 press event where it's still E3 weekend, but they were like down the block.
Right.
Kind of like what Bethesda did last year.
Yeah.
And so EA did that.
In the hangar. They're down in the hangar.
Yes.
That's the call.
Yeah.
We're down here in the hangar.
So EA did theirs, and I watched it live on Sunday. Basically, I kind of wrote down that companies are moving. They mentioned this is that, and I sort of kind of like brainstormed this and wrote down. Companies are starting to move away from big events like this, where like instead of like saying, "Well, we're gonna wait till E3 to show you everything," why do you want to hear it from a press guy when you could just hear it from your favorite YouTuber or Twitch streamer, where we can get these guys in to play the games, and then since you follow them anyway and you trust their word,
Yeah, it's basically taking that trust bond that you have with the YouTubers, and YouTube has become a major. I mean,
YouTube and Twitch. Yes,
I'm telling you now. Like before, I purchase most games I do. The first place I go is YouTube and Twitch.
Well, see, what this does is that the companies like EA and all these other guys, they know that the way that we consume media is different. It's changed from even 2-3 years ago. But so they know that's how we make our decisions. They know, and that's why they want to reach out to these guys and do that. But maybe E3 will go away one day, but maybe I don't foresee it in the foreseeable future.
I think it'll still be like a hey, it's E3 week. It may not be hey, come to E3. It's still going to be this is E3 week where everybody in the gaming community comes together and seeks out new information. I don't foresee an end to the press conferences, but I can see an end to more so of like, see, the E3 is more for the press to come in. So if you have a press pass, that like me and you can't go to E3. But I want to.
I want to go too, but we're two broke ass people from the Midwest, and if this podcast gets big enough and we can cover it, then they'll let us go. They'll get us a little pass.
But it's not fair because they have a lot of exclusive stuff at E3. Why can't we go in there and pick up some exclusive? Like they get the little gifts.
Yeah, little swag.
Yeah, like what was Bethesda's this year? The T-shirt.
Mm.
Bethesda gave out a T-shirt.
Didn't they do something for Fallout last year?
Last year they gave out the Fallout action figures, the 3 sets.
Yeah.
Damn it, I want that 3 set.
So first at EA, they showed Titanfall 2.
Yes.
The multiplayer I wrote down looks crazy. Looks like next level Halo. It looks all over the place. It looks fun, but I'm not too much of a FPS guy.
Too much chaos for you?
Well, no, I'm not too much in the multiplayer, dude. I don't really get into too competitive multiplayer. I'm more into co-op. I like playing with my friends, working together for a goal.
Right.
I'm not going to get on and get killed by the same guy going, I just killed you again. I hate that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can never play enough to be good enough to do that. And I want to have fun. I'm not going to talk shit. Okay? Maybe with my friends if we're playing and some guy uses, too many metagels. That's one thing. Okay? Or some guy's lagging out and keeps getting killed. Anyway, so Titanfall 2 coming to PS4 and single player announced. They showed a trailer. It looks I mean, I'm not saying that it's terrible, but it's not grabbing me. And that's disappointing because I like the premise. I like the mech thing. It looks cool. It looks like it could be fun to play, but I'm not going to pick it up day one.
No. Maybe later on at your local disc replay or game exchange, but that's about it.
Sports, esports. They are doing stuff with esports. FIFA, Madden. Don't get me wrong, dude. Esports are kind of cool. So not only did they stream the Madden,
yeah,
they was on ESPN.
Yeah.
I'm like, this shit is covered on ESPN now.
And as you told me, the winner walked away with
$50,000
and
a title belt.
He got a title belt. I didn't see the title belt.
Well, I'm a title belt guy. If I made a decision, collect belts, collect games.
Games was cheaper.
Yes. And also Midwest belts. They make the belts for WWE and have made them for years. They went to somebody else for a while, now they're back. Since those guys are working and make belts for the big guys, and there's only a couple guys that even make those belts, the wait time for some belts is over 5 years.
Jeez.
Dude, I could be dead by then. Mass Effect Andromeda. All right, so I got a lot. I got a lot to say.
I know you did. This is one of your favorite series.
I got a lot to say about Mass Effect Andromeda. I was really disappointed with what we saw, because it wasn't enough, and
I think it was enough.
No,
personally, I think it's enough because I feel like we're gonna have a large gameplay trailer at a different time.
Now, hold on. Let me get this. Okay, they're holding off more info until the fall. Now, what does this tell me? It tells me one of two things. This game ain't ready yet. No. This game ain't nowhere near ready. Or they don't want to overhype it and overcloud Battlefield or Titanfall 2 with too much crap. I get it. I don't like it. But I sort of thought this today, and I'm an idiot, okay? Me being such a big Mass Effect fan and I didn't make this connection. Holding off more information until the fall. What's in the fall?
In 7
days. So basically, call it here. We're going to be seeing gameplay and an official story trailer for that on in 7 Day, more than likely. However, what we saw was sort of a behind-the-scenes stuff, and there were segments shown. We now know that the ship has been revealed. It is the Tempest. It is definitely the name that was leaked like a year and a half ago. Yep. And then it looks basically like a child of the Normandy. It looks like it was inspired by the Normandy.
Definitely a larger scale of the Normandy.
It looks a little bigger, but yeah.
At least that's what I took from it. It looked like,
but they did show it in the atmosphere and of a planet. And since the Normandy SR2 is bigger, the reason why they started using the shuttles is because they would put the ship in orbit. Because it was so big, it couldn't land on certain platforms or anything like that. So the ship wouldn't really go down into the planet's atmosphere as much. Maybe that's different. I don't know. Some gameplay was shown, like Mako and stuff like that. Female human shown at the end. Now. There has been more information revealed over the last 2 days.
This is information I have not.
That character is the main player character.
Okay, that's what they were hinting at.
And her name is Ryder.
Really?
And, okay... You could be male or female, just like in the other one. Okay, right? Just like in the original trilogy. But my bet was when I saw it, I said, that's the player character, and that's the default avatar they've given this character.
Right.
Just like in the original trilogy, they gave that default male Shep. That was Shepard. Yep. And a lot of people just use that Shepard, and that's fine. You can make your own. But now for the Andromeda series, they're going on the other side. They're giving the female the default look. So on the cases, you're going to see the default female instead of the male. And that's fine by me. In fact, you know what? I might even play Andromeda with the female lead and do the opposite what I did with...
What are you talking about? You're going to play in every character.
Well, okay. What I did with the original trilogy was I had a Paragon male, Renegade male, and a sort of in-between female. Right. Mostly leaning Paragon. Starting off, she was a real bitch. But I just got to a certain point where I couldn't be mean to Garrus.
Right. How can you be mean to Garrett? He's such a nice guy.
I ended up romancing him. Just saying, bro. He's a real sweetheart. The other thing that has been revealed, there was more. Set 300 years after the original trilogy. And the ending of Mass Effect 3 has no bearing whatsoever on this story. Now, what does that tell me? Now, we're connecting dots, okay? Because... a lot of what has been revealed has not been really revealed. Some of it's been revealed on IGN and other sites. There was a guy on YouTube I watch. His name is Minius. He does like Mass Effect lore videos and theories and all this stuff. He went to E3 and he talked to a developer. And pretty much, he couldn't record the conversation, but what was told in the conversation was, we could have revealed a lot more than we could have today, but we're holding off as long as possible. So it's sort of kind of like the Fallout situation. But
they're going to blow it all up right at the end. Everybody's going to like, ah!
Right. So that leaves me hope that the March date is the lock-on date, that they're going to make that date. They're not rushing it, but that's going to be the, when N7 comes around, that's when they're going to hype it up. They're going to have their own event just for Mass Effect, and then that's going to create buzz, and it's going to pre-orders in the holidays, all this stuff.
I'm hoping that they still stick to the multiplayer platform that they had in Mass Effect 3.
From what I hear, it's going to be entirely co-op. There is no PvP.
Yes.
It's going to be entirely co-op. It's the same kind of thing.
So we're going to spend another year playing that.
Probably. Now, what they said with the 300-year time lapse. Do I believe this game is set 300 years later? Yes. Do I believe to these characters that it's 300 years later? No. Because they showed another thing in the trailer. They showed the Tempest. So that's the ship.
Right.
The other ship is the Ark. That is what they use to get the Andromeda system. In fact, they showed it being built. They showed multiple Arks being built.
Right.
What does that mean?
That we're going to have a different... In the series, it's going to go from this person going on Andromeda system and this person going to a different system. So your new inputs are going to be different systems. So it's going to feel like an entire different game, but it's still the same.
Now, pregnant pause. So, also revealed was...
I wonder if they're going to explain the cryo sleep. Because I had cryo sleep for 3 years.
Yeah. Now, they show the bridge of the Tempest.
Right.
And they show the player character in the front with the big hollow screen and their little board where they can select where to go.
Right.
And I say, so you're looking at the character from behind, right? And if you look to the right, you can't see any details, but you see an outline. Solarian.
Yeah.
To the left, Krogan. I have no doubt that the Ark, much like the Noah's Ark, is filled with races and people from the Milky Way galaxy.
I'm 100% on that.
And your crew on the Tempest is made up of mixed, and you're all working together, because I guarantee you. Now, this is my prediction. I'm saying that they left the Milky Way galaxy before the end of Mass Effect 3. Whether it was before Mass Effect 3, during the events of the invasion, whatever, they made a decision to set up a contingency plan for if they could not beat the Reapers, that life from the Milky Way galaxy would continue on. They could find a new home somewhere.
Right.
And I believe you're playing through the story of a Pathfinder writer who is a commander of the Tempest with her crew. And I guarantee you they have no idea what happened in the Milky Way galaxy. There's going to be people who think, oh, Shepard absolutely defeated the Reapers. He had to have. There's nobody like Shepard. And then as the character writer, you can say, I'll be better than Shepard. I hope to aspire to be as good as him.
Right, yeah.
I have no doubt that they're going to talk about Shepard. They have to. Shepard was such a big character, but they're in mystery of what happened.
Because they have no way of knowing.
Right, because they would have left before the end. So then there's going to be characters they're all like, no, there's no way. They're all dead.
So you're going to see a lot of maybe arguments and conversations
due
to the fact of is Shepard the greatest ever? There's nothing that could take Shepard down and blah 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 blah. You're going to have that.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
It'll be awesome. I am disappointed with what limited they showed, but after hearing more and more and more and dissecting that 2-minute thing, definitely excited. Now, they talked about more sports, FIFA, Madden, stuff like that. They're going to be doing stuff kind of like Squaresoft. Is that Square Enix?
I was going to say Squaresoft.
Sorry.
How far back are we going here?
Retro thing, where they reach out to like some indie developers. And
that's awesome.
There's going to be a couple of big titles, like 2 or 3 a year, that EA is going to publish. And they said they want all of the proceeds and profits to go back to the original studio.
Oh, wow.
To help them out.
See, and it's funny is you're starting to see a lot more of this happening. And a lot, because these guys, these individual developers, they're basically just doing their thing on their own. And just really, really putting their heart and soul into these games, and they're coming out. People are like, "This is amazing!" Like, Don't Starve,
Don't Starve,
still fantastic game. Axiom Verge.
Yeah, and then of course No Man's Sky. It's gonna be a big one. And then Star Wars update. Oh my god, this was so stupid.
Yeah.
Dude, they didn't tell us anything we didn't already know.
Yeah.
They gave it they're like, oh hey, they're making this game. Respawn's making this game. Oh look, the chick from Amy Hennig, I think that's her name. She created the Uncharted series.
Oh yeah.
She's working on a new third-person action Star Wars adventure.
Right.
We know this.
Yep.
It literally, they made a big deal about it, and it's like, cool, bro. We already know. So they did announce 2017 was going to have a new Battlefront with new movie stuff in it. So stuff from Episode 7, maybe even Episode 8 will be in it. And and I have heard that they're going to do a story mode or a campaign mode. So.
Oh, I guarantee after the.
that wasn't announced here, but pretty much what I understood with this one is that they were rushed to get it out because of the new movie.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to do it, but they knew that it would be subpar, so they decided to focus all of their energy towards the multiplayer and get that right and try to include as many modes as possible. And because they knew how it was going to be, so they decided to kind of like do that, embrace, and go, hopefully people like this because they knew they were going to get shit on for it. Lastly here, I didn't write anything else down, just Battlefield 1. It looks awesome.
It looks cool. It does.
It's
not something that I'm going to run out and get first day.
No, but I mean, if you had to say, choose Battlefield, Call of Duty, I'm going to get Battlefield.
The new Call of Duty? Because when we get to that, I have...
Do you have stuff to say?
I have a story to tell about that one.
That was the EA press conference. Mostly just disappointing for me.
Yes.
Wow, you know what? I did not make notes for Bethesda.
That's okay. I got it all right here.
Yeah, I do too, because they're making a new Quake. It's only going to PC.
It's a Quake tourney.
Yeah, it's Quake Champions.
Yeah. So it's basically taking their multiplayer... The multiplayer that Quake was, it basically ended up becoming and saying, okay, here's a new updated one for all those Quake players.
Well, and it's cool because they've done the same thing with Wolfenstein.
Yep.
And just recently Doom. Both of those games scored really well and are reviewing really well games.
I hear that Doom is fantastic.
I've heard the multiplayer suffers a little, but I've heard the actual campaign is amazing.
I didn't hear that it suffered. I heard that it was cool because you could download levels. Mm-hmm. So maybe the play is kind of a little... I
don't know. See,
rough.
I've heard mixed. I've heard that people don't feel like the multiplayer is Doom enough. But I've heard that those same people say, the campaign, you'll love it. If you like Doom, you'll love the campaign. It's amazing. It's all out balls to the wall Doom.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Wolfenstein was the one that got released 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I heard that's amazing, and I still want to pick that up. I've heard it's a return to form, and right at the beginning of the Bethesda thing where they were doing the Quake thing, there was a new Wolfenstein title. Mm-hmm. So a new Wolfenstein is in development. Then they announced off the top of my head was it Fallout 4 stuff.
The Fallout 4 they added the contraptions.
Yep.
And
bunker or the vaults.
The vaults.
Create your own vault.
And then the.
Nuka City, Nuka-Cola town.
Yeah, Nuka-Cola,
it's like a
theme park.
Theme park, yeah.
Nuka-Cola. You first, since we did the same thing. We both did.
I heard that you'll be able to take over existing settlements now in this new DLC.
Ooh.
I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? I liked Fallout 4 a lot. Maybe even more than 3. I don't know. I liked it. To me, it was more personal. A lot of people like Fallout 3 better. I like Fallout 4 better, actually, I think. It's Fallout 3, but better. But I played it. I got done. There's more stuff to do. Will I go back to it? I'm hard-pressed to say yes. Maybe later. I'm not going to count it out. Because if I ever want to get the itch to play Fallout again, I might just buy all the DLC and then do a big playthrough of everything again. But I'm not going to go back through it anytime.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it anytime soon. But that's not putting it down. That's just... I played it for like 60, 70 hours.
Yeah.
I put my time... In fact, I think it was more. I think it was at least 80. I put my time into it. I had a lot of fun. I played it straight. No other game was played between November and early January. That was it. I played Fallout 4. That was it. And I absolutely loved it. And the world was immersive. Characters were cool. Your character was good. Because I honestly like that because it felt more like Mass Effect mixed in with that.
Right.
I like that. But that's just me. Then Skyrim.
Which I went frame by frame.
Did you?
Skyrim. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, I got some news. Original Skyrim saves should transfer to the new one on PC. On PC,
They're updating it for free.
If you have Skyrim and all the DLC
on Steam.
If you
purchase it on Steam.
Okay, so yeah, it's like so if you have the original game and all the DLC, or the Legendary Edition, which comes with all the DLC packed in, then you get it for free. If you just have the original game, you do not get it for free.
That's okay.
They said it's going to run a 64-bit engine for the remastered version, and there will be a separate creation kit for uploading mods. It looked great.
And I really like the way Bethesda's allowing the mods to come in, because for someone like my fiance that is literally will refuse to play any other game but Skyrim, now she literally has a never-ending Skyrim.
We'll see. What's awesome too is that if this is successful, they did this all in house. By the way, they didn't do another party to do this. That this was the Bethesda team. While they were finishing up, probably putting the finishing touches on Fallout 4, they were probably doing this. And while they were doing DLC for Fallout 4, they were doing this, and just getting it to work. And of course, I mean, it's Bethesda, so there's probably going to be some hiccups. However, if this is successful, I guarantee you're probably going to see an Oblivion.
I hope so.
Which, honestly, I want them to do because I want her to play it because I think she would also like the other ones as well. Well, but she doesn't play it.
No.
She plays Skyrim. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If it looks and feels a little bit more like Skyrim, because Oblivion looks dated and feels dated compared to Skyrim.
It does. Mainly it's the controls.
Yes.
That bother her.
If they can improve the controls and improve the engine a little bit, and even for like Morrowind, I want even more.
I would like to see them all redone. To be honest, all of them redone. I think that we're at a point now in the technological advancement that VR is our next step. I mean, 4K I think is going to be around for a while. Mm-hmm. So the PS4 Neo, the Xbox Scorpio is going to be pretty much going to be stable for a while until somebody comes up with something fantastic.
Howard, director at Bethesda that does Elder Scrolls and Fallout. I can't talk. My mouth don't work no more. You talked about Skyrim's successor, Elder Scrolls 6, and how the game is still a very long way off. Bethesda is now working on 3 projects.
A small team.
No, they're not. They're a decent sized team.
Yeah, compared to others, that's small.
One of which is Elder Scrolls 6, but said none of them are going to get rushed out, which that doesn't surprise me at all. Studio has a pretty good idea of what they want the game to be and expects to use technology that Bethesda doesn't necessarily have right now to make that game. Now, that's interesting.
I wonder what that means. Is that a nod at something new coming up through the system pipeline?
Honestly, what that tells me is that it probably won't appear on this console. It probably won't be on the PS4, Xbox One, since they have 3 other games are working, like 3 games are working on. One of them's Elder Scrolls. They're working on a new IP. Yeah. So they probably want to do the new IP because it's like, as much as they like doing Elder Scrolls and Fallout and switching between the two, these developers, they probably want to try something new and do something new.
Well, I mean, them pulling back Skyrim is kind of like a refresher. It's like, hey guys, if you didn't play Skyrim, which you probably did, here it is again. It's still full price though.
Yeah. Is it 50? I thought 60. It was 50. Is it 60?
60. But look, did you see the updates for that? The graphics are just, it's completely different. I mean, it's amazing. I don't know. I know that I'm going to probably be sitting there in the world just walking around going, wow.
They announced some other stuff. They focused a lot on Dishonored 2.
That game looks fantastic to me. Just saying. I don't know how you feel about it, but
I don't really feel about it. I mean, I didn't play the first one, and again, I'm too much of an FPS guy. It looks fun, but again, when I have to make a decision of what games I'm going to play, I'm not going to lean towards that. Honestly, I can't remember if there's anything too much on Bethesda had left to talk about that I really gave too much crap about. Because I watched the whole thing. Because I had to go to sleep, so I didn't catch it all. I had to watch it early the next morning before work.
We watched the Skyrim thing multiple times.
Oh, I bet.
I watched the Dishonored one at least 2 or 3 times.
Microsoft was the next day. Kicked it off right away. Xbox One Slim. Xbox One S.
Yep. Coming out swinging.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, this needs to happen because they announced it at a $300 price point. 2 terabyte hard drive, built-in power supply, no more power brick.
Oh yeah.
First one since original Xbox. No built-in Connect support.
Which is awesome.
I mean, they're giving away a free adapter, but there's no port in the back for it. 4K video, so it's 4K streaming for Netflix and Blu-ray.
Right.
So you can go buy that 4K.
And I believe it got a boost in graphics too.
Yeah.
Not like we're gonna jump up a major, but
no, it runs better. Basically, from what I understand, it does better resolution, better frame rate. It holds it better. It is 40% smaller than the original console. It looks kind of sexy. I'll be honest.
Ooh.
It looks a little sexy. Bluetooth controller. The controller's getting updated.
Nice.
It's got some grippy on the bottom, and it's got a Bluetooth interface because before it's been like Wi-Fi.
Are they going to make an Elite one that's Bluetooth?
Probably, I'd imagine. They didn't announce it, but the one that comes with the Slim is a Bluetooth, and you can hook it up to your PC with Bluetooth. You don't have to have a special adapter or a special version. It's out this August, so they're pumping that out. Cool. Awesome. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It depends on how much I actually want or need Scorpio, which we'll get to later. I might actually buy the fucking Xbox Slim just to save space in my fucking game room.
Yeah, being 40% smaller is...
Dude, okay, so I moved the PS3 back the other day. I had to get rid of my VCR. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but fuck that damn VCR. Because that thing ate my VHS for the Batman tape that I bought like a while ago.
What a bastard.
I had to tear that thing open and rewind the tape manually. I was like, and I haven't plugged it in since. So it's gone. And
so you didn't need it anyways.
No, well, I mean, no. But it is pretty compact. I mean, because I have the original Xbox One. I have the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Edition. It looks good. I like it. It looks nice. However, this being that much smaller, am I going to rush out and get it? No. But if anybody who doesn't have an Xbox One and is interested in some stuff that they're doing, it's definitely a good entry point to go for. Because, you know what? I'm just going to go to Scorpio now. Because even though they closed with it,
yeah,
it makes sense to talk about it here now.
Fine.
So they announced Xbox Project Scorpio, which is pretty much the halfway step to the new system. However, it's more so than that. Because this fucking thing's powerful.
6 teraflops.
6 teraflops of computing power. So this is going to offer you 4K gaming, VR support. Pretty much, it'll be the most powerful console in the market. And it's coming out 2017, holiday 2017. By the time it comes out, then PC will move up. It'll be either equal to it or just past it.
I'm assuming a little bit fast.
Probably yes, but that's
runs.
high-end PC
You're
stuff.
You're talking about $100,000 graphic card.
Yeah, yes, I mean they're not going cheap with the Scorpio. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy at Xbox, Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer, yeah.
That's why I need to write shit down, because I know these things when we're talking about it. When I'm right on the spot trying to think of it, I have a brain fart.
Yeah, we're just.
He was quoted as saying, and I wrote it down here because it wasn't on the original cast. It was he in an interview. Won't be a benefit to anyone without a 4K TV.
Huh.
He's pretty much saying if you have no plans to get 4K,
do not get this.
Don't buy it. This is a select product for the people who want high fidelity graphics.
Which is great.
Yeah. Oh no, it's fantastic.
Throwing his cards out on the table, saying, "Look, we don't, we want you to buy it, but we don't want you to buy it and then be like, okay, this is nothing."
Mm-hmm. This doesn't help me any.
Yeah.
And that's why, because he reiterated saying that any game going forward, any game they release will be compatible with Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox Scorpio.
Yes.
It will work.
And that was huge.
Now, granted, will VR work on the prior one? Probably not.
Yeah,
I'm thinking if you want to do VR, you probably got to go to the Scorpio. I'm not sold on the fact that it'll work on the other ones. However, from this standpoint, it looks like the S might be the way to go because I don't have plans to update to 4K anytime soon.
I already have. So.
Well, you already have.
Yeah.
Now, another big thing, and this isn't. I just want to get this out there. They announced crossplay with Windows 10.
Windows 10, yes.
Now, you and me were on different sides of the fence here yesterday when we talked about it.
Yes, we are.
Now, I want to state my case.
You state your case first.
Because I think it's a very good idea. Because I think this is a really great way to cross your stream, so to speak. Microsoft is a bigger company than the brand of Xbox.
Yes, much bigger.
So they have a lot of stock into Windows. Yeah. They want you to upgrade to Windows 10, and it's free right now. Because my freaking laptop... Yeah, no, it's still free. My laptop keeps telling me. It keeps telling me to upgrade. I don't want Windows 8. I don't want Windows 8. I want Windows 7. Anyway, but any first-party game developed by Xbox going forward, you buy one digitally on one, you'll get it for free on the other one, and your save data transfers.
Yeah.
So, here's what I'm saying. They're not telling you, don't worry about buying the Xbox. They want you to buy the Xbox. Sure they do. But they're telling you, hey, Mike, you can play Forza Horizon 3 on Windows 10 at your computer on your high-res gaming rig. That's awesome. But when you want to relax, you can also play that same game on your Xbox One downstairs on your TV. And it transfers. And it's saved. All your stuff, it goes right in the cloud, transfers right down to your system. That way, you don't have to choose. You can have both. You can have the best of both worlds if you want it. And, okay, say, dude, man, my freaking sciatic's acting up. This freaking chair, man, I can sit here for a while, but after guys, I can't play. I'm going downstairs. Guys, hold on. I'm going to switch to the Xbox, and I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm going to go pee.
Yeah.
It is to their benefit because not only does it do that, not only does it give you the option, because how much did you pay for Windows 10?
Oh, I don't know, $100?
For Windows, no.
I went for Windows 7.
No, because it's free for me.
I had to buy 7 because I built my entire rig. So I had to buy something. It says the only way to...
How much did that cost you to upgrade for the upgrade?
Well, it's free for Windows.
It's free, so they're giving you Windows 10 for free. That's free. All you got to do right now, Mike, when Gears of War 4 comes out, which we'll get to in a minute, go onto the Xbox thing in the apps and buy Gears of War, and you can play it right now.
Oh, sure.
And if you decide to buy Xbox Scorpio to have 4K gaming, you already have Gears of War, and guess what? You can just play it down there. It is a good thing because it's they're putting their eggs in two different baskets, yes, okay? But one of their baskets they're putting it in is PC gaming.
Right, I get that.
So they're trying to mend the field here. It's like we're one and the same now. And they're strengthening the Xbox brand across that because what's going to happen in 10 years with consoles? We don't know yet. They're banking on consoles still being around because they're obviously doing the Scorpio, right?
Right.
But, because we mentioned this earlier, is it going to streaming? Is it going to all digital? How is this going? This confirms that the Xbox brand, I use quotations, can still continue on past the system.
I know, and I agree with that outlook on it. It really makes sense. But you are someone like me. I don't have an Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Forza looks great. There's a lot of games in there. I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking about it. Now I don't have to.
And that's a positive.
It's a positive for me, but that's not a positive for them moving units. Because they just came out with new units. I'm definitely not going to go out and buy a Scorpio. I'm definitely not going to go out and buy an Xbox One because I have a PS4 that I absolutely love, which I will upgrade to the Neo whenever they announce or...
Well, it's obvious with this movement, they don't care about moving units as much as they do about uniting the gamers. Because now, I have an Xbox One. I can go buy Forza Horizon 3. You can buy Forza Horizon 3 up here on your. We can play together.
I know, and I think that's fantastic. But I'm saying that they're setting it up. I think that it should be available but I don't think that they should be like really pushing it. They want to get. Obviously, every place wants to put out their more units, get more Xboxes, more homes, get you to buy more things. That's what they want you to do. But why would like someone like me that is a PC gamer, well, used to be a PC gamer, why would I ever want to switch? Why would I ever want to do that?
See, now it makes it to where you don't have to.
Exactly, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm saying the look of the company is I want to get more units into more homes.
They don't necessarily want that anymore. They do, but they don't, because
that has to be
they are so far they're so far behind. They don't. I don't think that they believe they can truly catch up at this point to the PS4.
I don't think they can either. But
so what do?
This is a good.
You try to get the Xbox name into more homes via what everybody has.
Like you said, I agree.
And
everybody's got a PC. Almost everybody has a PC,
mm-hmm.
or at least some form of tablet.
Yes.
Whatever.
And I think it's a great idea. Gears of War was shown. It looks like Gears of War.
I don't think there's a worry. None of them. So.
Gears of War is a fun. I really like the co-op campaign because they do a lot of where you two have to work together to get through, and I like that a lot. And to me, it was like small stuff. Like in Gears of War 1, you had to like use a spotlight, and I had to shine it on you, and you had to walk across this dark area because in Gears of War, if you walk into a dark area, these things gonna like cut you up, or it's like these big like these insects. They fucking like they're almost like insect piranhas. They just you die, and they're like locusts or whatever.
Right.
So they have to keep a light shown on you, and you have to move across. So you have to highlight, keep you lit up with that until you can get across. I like that. That's awesome. It's small stuff like that, and it's a cover shooter. Gears of War is one of the most important cover shooters ever created because it pretty much changed the genre. Every Mass Effect adopted the Gears of War style of gameplay. It's Mass Effect. They've done their own stuff with it, but without Gears of War, it wouldn't have been. Yeah, it wouldn't have got there. Co-op crossplay across all modes. So now you can play through the story with somebody on Windows 10,
which is cool. That's awesome.
Oh, of course. And then release date October 11th this year. The last thing they showed was old Marcus, the old protagonist, because you're playing as his son in this game.
Right.
And so I kind of popped for that. Will I get Gears 4? Probably. Release day? Again, I don't know.
When does it fall on? What's its release date?
It's on October 11th. So,
I'm trying to think of what significantly comes out around that time.
Yeah, towards the end of the month, Skyrim comes out.
Skyrim, but you're not. You probably won't.
I won't be picking that up. A few weeks before that, Final Fantasy 11 comes out. But Forza Horizon 3.
11?
Wait.
15.
Say, wow.
We were doing 11.
Sorry,
All right.
I saw the number 11.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 3 it's actually cross-buy. It's out September 27th. Again, I mean, it's...
I'll be picking it up for my PC.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's awesome.
I mean, how many times have I told you, if they put it on Windows, I'm buying it.
And I want to say Forza 6 is on Windows now?
I don't know off the top of my head.
You know what? I saw that, but I don't remember. I think it did get released, but it was a staggered release.
I think
it came out later. Recore, coming out September 13th. That is the game with Inafune and some of the guys that made Metroid Prime. Looks fun. I mean,
it looks fantastic.
Do I think that's going to be a huge, big title for Microsoft? No, but you have to have games like this and that are exclusive to the system, where it's just, man, you know what? It's a fun, old school kind of a 3D platformer game with some run around shooting. And then they released some Xbox Live information. They're adding more servers. They're adding background music to your system, language preference for your region.
That's neat.
They're adding Cortana to Xbox.
That's awesome.
They're adding clubs for finding players to play multiplayer, and they're also doing something called looking for group. It's like a want ad. Yeah, it's a want ad for if you want to play Forza and you're looking for people to play Forza with.
Yeah,
people go online saying, hey, or like something for like the Division or something. Like, hey, I need some help.
That's a typical MMO move right there.
Right. That's coming to the console itself. Custom controllers called Xbox Design Lab, where you can kind of mix and match some of your colors, make your own, customize some like word on it, whatever.
I'm hoping they do that with Elite.
Me too. They did. They also revealed a Gears of War Elite thing. Tekken 7. It's a fighting game. Dead Rising 4, not exclusive here.
That looked fantastic.
Dead Rising 3 was exclusive to the Xbox One. This one isn't. Holiday 2016 coming out this year. Scalebound. Cross-buy with Windows 10.
Okay, Scalebound. I have a little to say on that.
Go for it.
It's cool. It looks cool, but it seems like it's hinting off of like a Skyrim style.
Well,
it's I don't know. I have to play it. I have to see it.
The gameplay reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy 15.
Yes.
So Scalebound is a 4-player co-op.
Co-op, yeah.
So it unlike FF15, which is a 1-player, for
Right.
party for character party. This is an actual kind of thing of where you can actually play online. Sea of Thieves.
That looked cool.
You know what? It looked cool, but I wonder what is the end game for that.
Right.
It looks. I liked how you had to work together to get the ship to move and all that stuff.
That looked, yeah.
Everybody's their own thing. State of Decay 2. I wanted to play State of Decay 1. That was a State of Decay. I want to say was a Microsoft exclusive like indie title.
Right.
And so this one is going to be 4-player online co-op zombie survival. So you know what? It's something that's on my radar. It's coming out 2017. Halo Wars 2. There's that. I don't really care too much about that.
Me either.
Ubisoft. Ghost
There we
Recon.
go.
Ghost Recon Wildlands. What do you think?
I've never been to Ghost Recon.
You know what? It looks fun. It looks like a mixture of like Ghost Recon with GTA.
It looks neat. It really does.
Remember how I said I like the co-op for the team-based stuff?
Yeah.
This is what that is.
Yeah, they.
They showed some gameplay and it looked fun. South Park, Fractured But Whole. Yes, I've watched this. Honestly, this is the one I've watched the most out of everything from E3. This might be my E3 game of the year. Or game of E3.
It looks, from what I've seen and what you've told me, like where you've been dissecting the video. Yeah.
Now, we both picked up Stick of Truth. Same night.
Loved it.
I thought it was going to be decent. I didn't expect it to be that good.
It was fantastic.
It was one of my games of the year that year.
Yes.
It was amazing. And they're bringing it back. 12 classes, mix and match powers, Civil War type beginning with the kids playing superheroes. The battles are now the same, but now grid based, kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics, where you can move around. You can move further away so they can't hit you. Move closer, that way you need to hit them. There are obstacles where you can hit people into and get double damage. You can you can box the enemies in so you can hit them, and then it'll bounce off the other player and they'll get extra damage. You can have up to a 4-person party, I think I saw. If you buy Fractured But Whole right now and pre-order it, you get Stick of Truth free for PS4, Xbox One. You get a digital code for that. So, great thing.
They're doing a lot to get that out there because that Stick of Truth really, the last couple of South Park games,
Well, they
didn't have a groove.
Well, see, they didn't have Matt and Trey's really big input.
Right.
It's like they had some input, they worked on it, but this was like they wanted Stick of Truth to be. That's why there's so many years in between. They wanted it to be a good South Park experience.
And I think they said that they were just when they put it together and they put it out there, they thought it was going to be a good one, but they didn't think it was going to be as big a hit that they were thinking about half, and they were happy with half.
Well, it got released on the PS3 360. It didn't get released on the newer consoles.
Right.
And that's because it was also in developer hell. It was tied up at THQ. THQ went under. Then Ubisoft picked it up. Obsidian was working on it. Obsidian does some great work. Obsidian also did a game over here that you may have just picked up.
Oh, yeah. What would that be?
KOTOR
2? Yeah.
Now, I will say that, unfortunately, Obsidian didn't have enough time to actually finish this game.
Yeah, and by the way, for those viewers, today I had a buying high. Mm-hmm. I traded in a old 3DS for a new 3DS.
Literally, it's called the new 3DS.
Really? And got KOTOR 1 and 2.
For the Xbox.
For Xbox. And yeah, it was 20% off, and I traded in my old one, and it was just worth it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Since we just interrupted the Ubisoft press conference for our recent pickups, I picked up the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time.
Yes.
For the Wii, and I also picked up Symphony. Hold on, I'm saying it wrong. Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of New World, the sequel to Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube. Now, I had in my hand, I had Abe's Exodus, and I had Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. For the Xbox, I had to make some decisions. I couldn't get everything.
You made a good call.
Honestly, I think I did because, I was buying Abe's Exodus not because I really like those games, but because I'm trying to fill out my PS1 collection. That's the only reason why I was buying it. And then I played the demo a long time ago. Getting back to Ubisoft's South Park coming out December 6th this year. That is probably going to definitely be my big holiday game. I'm going to be playing the heck out of that. Moving on, they revealed Star Trek VR Bridge Crew. I think they had another VR game in there. I might have missed it. It was Eagle Flight, maybe?
I can't remember.
Yeah, they did something. I was reading comic books while I was watching Ubisoft because we did Journey into Comics 101 on Monday, so I was trying to get caught up and read some of the Rebirth stuff from DC. But Star Trek Bridge Crew, if I was going to get a VR system, I would pick it up. Why? Because I'm a Star Trek fan, and because it's like take Sea of Thieves and put you on the bridge where each of you has a job to do. You have a captain, you have an engineer, you have a pilot. You guys have to work together to solve whatever problem you have, and it looked really fun. They actually got some of the Star Trek people who had been on the shows, and they got the guy that plays Bones in the new movies for that. For Honor. What do you think about For Honor? That's the Viking samurai night guy.
I think it looks pretty fun. I watched about 20 minutes of gameplay for it, of them going through and actually doing battles with other people. It looked 4-on-4, basically domination is what it was. It looks like a lot of fun. The little twist to it is the fact that whenever you go and you're doing this, whoever captures it for a certain X amount of time, it will actually allow you to permanently do a permakill on the other team, and that's actually how you win. So if both teams are evenly matched, it could be a very long match or timeout. But it is very fun, brutal. The moves actually are really neat because it'll show where they're guarding. So you will guard your left side more than your right. So then you're open on the right. So you'll attack on the right. So there's a lot of very fine detail in the game to make it good. I think it's going to be interesting. I won't pick it up first day, but I will definitely play something of it. If they let us have a demo, I hope for a beta.
Comes out Valentine's Day. I can't talk. Valentine's Day next year. So, Watch Dogs 2 gameplay shown. You know what? I played a little bit of the first Watch Dogs. It was alright. This one looks better. But I'll probably end up getting it eventually. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not too excited about it. They signed a deal. Oh, they're doing a movie with Sony with that, by the way. Then the last thing they showed was Steep. Did you hear anything about that?
I didn't hear anything about
that. It is a new extreme snowboarding, skiing game, multiplayer, winter sports. Next.
Yeah,
I didn't care about that at all.
Either. That's why I didn't really.
PlayStation.
I saw it, but it's okay.
God of War.
God of War. Yeah. It's fantastic.
I was not expecting that much to be shown in God of War.
When they were like, God of War gameplay, I was like, already? Really? And then it is awesome. The way that the lake cracks up while he's fighting and it actually disperses away, like that is just
it's new. It's newer combat. It's like God of War Evolved, and I heard somebody else say this exact same thing, and I'm in 100% agreement. That's why I said this earlier. That Gears of War 4 looked like Gears of War.
Yep.
God of War looks like new God of War. Like, you know how like they went with Gears of War. Like, let's keep it Gears. This one they were like, well, how can we change this and make it all new? This is what they did with God of War. It's not even called God of War 4.
Well,
it's called God of War.
That's the thing is it's hey, here's the God of War, but we need to make a new entry and a new. They have a new system running on it. I mean, it's awesome.
Well, they released 6 games with the old flow.
Right.
Okay, there were 2 on the PS2, 2 on the PS Vita. No, I'm sorry, PSP.
PSP.
Also available on the Vita, Bo. And then 2 on the PS3. So this one, it looked great. And apparently, they got a new actor to play Kratos. And It is Kratos. I've got confirmed. It is actual Kratos.
Told you. It says on it that he's teaching his son to hunt.
Yeah, well.
So.
The next game, they showed a little bit of Days Gone. They also...
Days Gone, I'm very interested in that. That looks.
I will say this. They ended up closing with gameplay from this. This
Yes.
is the last thing they've shown. You know what? It looks like Last of Us mixed with like Left 4 Dead. I'm not saying that I'm not 100% looking forward to it, but I was a little bit let down with yet another zombie game.
Well, yeah.
That's not to say that that's going to make this bad. I'm just saying, oh, this is what this is. This kind of looks like Last of Us. That's the first thing I thought. This kind of looks like Last of Us.
It really reminded me of Left 4 Dead, especially when he's kiting them around.
Well, okay, as they see, and that's the part that I thought of Left 4 Dead. When he's just going around scavenging stuff, I thought Last of Us.
Yeah, the scavenging. It looks cool. I'll definitely pick it up. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm hoping good things about it.
It's not necessarily on my radar, but I want to see more of it and hear, find out more of the actual story. It's being made by Ben Studio. That's the company that made Siphonfelder.
Yes.
Last Guardian, release date revealed October 25th.
Oh.
Finally coming out. Hey,
Finally.
The two, okay, that's funny because the two games that have the longest development cycle coming out within a month of each other, FF15 and then Last Guardian. Horizon Zero Dawn gameplay shown.
Oh man, that game has got me super excited.
Are you in? Are you in trouble?
Day one. That's day one.
That is February.
I
can't remember the date, but it's in February.
That's a day one special edition.
Oh, you're getting special edition for that?
Yeah.
So, like, after you saw that, you were like, I'm in?
Yeah, I was in before.
Were you?
When they showed the small gameplay where she was taking down a T-Rex.
Okay. I mean, it looks cool. I'm definitely not dogging it. I mean, it looks awesome. I'll definitely play it. But it's coming out really close to Persona 5 and Mass Effect.
Right.
That's my only issue.
It's an expensive time for me.
It was, yeah, same here. But I'm just saying, like, do I buy Horizon and just let it sit there? Or do I wait to pick it up?
I would.
So,
it's one of those games. I mean, you can play it on your own. It reminds me a lot of Far Cry Primal, and I just went through Far Cry Primal, and I absolutely loved it. It has the wheel, the quick select wheel.
Maybe mix between Far Cry Primal and Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, and maybe add in maybe a little bit of like Legend of Zelda or something, where it's kind of like where it's a little bit arcadey with the fighting a little bit, where it's
no, definitely not arcadey.
Well, no,
I don't feel it's arcadey.
Well, I mean, where it's like fast moving, it's flowing. It's
definitely a fast pace.
That's what I'm talking about.
You got to be on top of it. You can't. I mean, you got to have a plan.
It's not like so much of a military shooter simulator.
Right.
That's what I mean by arcadey.
And it's more of a game like Far Cry Primal. You can just kind of go into an area and just wreak havoc. You don't have to have like a plan. And this one, you fight something. You're like, okay, what is this going to do? And I need to lead it into traps. And I actually have to. It's on the fly strategy, real time. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Detroit
Become Human. New Quantum Dream game. The guys that made Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. You know what? I like their games. Oh, and what's the other one? You know what's funny? Like sometimes when I think of games, I'll think of like if they have an alternate name in like another region. That's the one I remember because the game is called Fahrenheit in other places.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the actual name that it came out here. It was on Xbox and PS2.
I don't know the name of it now either.
That bugs me. That bugs me.
Okay. Anyways.
That bugs me. So yeah, Detroit. They pretty much showed how like the gameplay really like they really showed like the story aspects of it and how like how it can go, how you can really mess things up or save the day because they showed that same scene in like 4 different ways.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah, and then they showed all the options that you could actually do, and then at the end they showed I wouldn't say like 10 or so outcomes of like
was it of different things or
well, he had one where he jumped and he pushed him out and then pushed the girl back and they both fell to their death, quote unquote. Put a bullet through his brain on one. He ran over and grabbed her and pushed him off. Then there was tons of different ones. Then of course he failed miserably and they died. That was the very opening one, and then. There's a bunch of different ones. So
Fahrenheit was called Indigo Prophecy here.
Oh, I definitely never would have remember that.
It's a great game. I absolutely loved the game until it got towards the end. The game was like murder mystery, and then it goes this like it's
Left Turn.
Oh my dude, Left Turn at Albuquerque. I mean, it threw me for a loop. Would I play it again? Yes, but at the time I was like, what?
Right.
Okay, so the next one. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what this was.
Explain it to me.
I didn't know what it was. I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, okay, what is this? Resident Evil 7.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I was sitting there, and I'm watching it, and there's blood and gore, and I was over at my cousin's house, and we were hanging out, and I was watching, I was like, what is this? And then, as it showed the person walk by the door, I was like, oh, Resident Evil! Has to be Resident Evil! And then I still didn't catch it until the very end. Like, I wanted it to be in, and I was kind of questioning it, and then all of a sudden, Resident Evil 7, I was like, oh!
I wrote down my thoughts, my gut reaction of that. It was, what the fuck? That's what I said when I saw the name. I said, what the fuck?
Like, bad or good?
No, like, fuck. I was like...
blown out of the water.
Yes. It comes out...
Same...
January 25th, 16. Maybe I'm off by a day. I was like, still, I was...
17? January 17?
Yes, not 16. Okay. 16 was this year.
It's alright. But,
yeah, I was, no, literally, I was like...
The demo,
yeah.
I told you about the demo. Definitely, absolutely, should have been entries for the 6. This is what 6 should have started out with, like now, the way that you play it. I sent you
a link to an article yesterday because you had some reservations about after having played the demo that this doesn't feel like Resident Evil.
Cannibalistic.
Well, I mean, and apparently that demo has no recourse on the full game. In fact, this is just like the intro to the new game.
Right.
So, like, they said that what happens in that game isn't necessarily correspond with what happens in the main game.
Right.
This isn't like, oh, you're playing the first level. This is like, no, you're playing, like, the pre-chapter. Like,
where are we at here? Like, is this where, like, early testing...
Well,
field testing.
And I do think that this has something to do with it, with the game. But I don't necessarily think. I think this is just setting up the new setting for the new game.
I hope so,
because it is. They said that this game is a continuation. It is 7, and it goes along with the storyline that they have been making for the last 20 years. But they said, we wanted to take it in a new direction because of the feedback we got from 6. He goes, we made 6, and we went too far in one direction.
Right.
So then we step back and go, how can we make this more like players felt like when they played Resident Evil 96, but make it 2017?
Now, to interject before you continue, I have been saying for a long time, what is one of the scariest moments in your first Resident Evil game? Resident Evil Director's Cut.
Dogs crashing through the window.
Dogs crashing through the window, or what's behind the door.
Mm-hmm.
Loading screen door. Now... I'm hoping that, and I'm really literally praying up, come on, please do this. You open the door slowly. If you notice, you can force it open or you can go slow. I'm hoping that when you're doing that, you get that door feeling of like, okay, what's back here? So you're going to do the whole open the door very slowly. You're going to kind of maybe pop your flashlight in there like, what, no. And then, like, something like that where the zombie crashes up against the door and just scares the crap out of you. It's a jump scare, but it's that anticipation of what is it?
Tension.
You just...
yeah, especially when the tension is riding high.
If they do that, I'll be super happy.
They were asked if, since they revealed that this game does take place in the Resident Evil universe and it's not a reboot, will we see any other familiar faces? They said no.
That's good.
They said no. But it does take place in the same universe with all those characters in it. We are not hitting the reset button. And they said that it was first person before they went to VR.
Oh, okay. So the VR did not influence the first person.
No.
So this is their very real first entry of first person Resident Evil.
And they said that, it was when the VR sort of came around, they decided to see if they can get it to work. And they could. And you can play the whole thing in VR. Or stop playing VR and just play the game normally. It was designed to be first person first.
Good.
So then they went into a bunch of VR stuff.
Star Wars.
VR is releasing on October 13 of this year. $400. 50 games by the end of the year. They showed Farpoint. which is that one kind of like
Mars.
space.
It's like you're on Mars.
Yeah, like I had trouble discerning between that and the new Call of Duty because of the setting. But then again, I was also trying to eat dinner. Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing mission. It's a mission for the new Battlefront.
It looks fun.
We're like, yeah, I mean, they're just kind of doing like a DLC for it, where it's like, hey, you can, be in an X-Wing.
Yeah.
Arkham VR. They showed nothing of this game. However, it was playable on the showroom floor.
I'm hoping that comes up.
And I've heard it is like first-person Batman Arkham, where like you do the fighting and you also do like the detective mode.
Oh wow.
FF15 VR experience, where you do the first-person gunplay with Pronto. Is that his name? Pronto.
Yeah.
That one didn't really appeal to me.
No.
Crash Bandicoot.
Wow. Yeah.
They announced they're doing remasters of 1, 2, and 3 on the original PlayStation for the PS4, and that Crash is going to be in Skylanders.
Now they said that it was going to be a redo. Like it wasn't a graphics up. It's a
remastered from the ground up.
Yep.
Remastered from the ground up.
So we're going to see a more three-dimensional world, more smooth.
Well, okay, it's going to be the exact same game with newer graphics. Basically what it is, because they want to keep the integrity of the original game.
Okay. Hopefully this opens the door for
if this sells well, because they don't own Crash. They're partnering with Activision to do this.
Yeah.
So that's Activision owns Crash, and they don't really want to do much with them, so they're putting them out here just like saying, do people want this? People freaked out when they started doing the Crash thing. I don't know. That got the biggest...
Out.
That got one of the biggest pops of the night, was that.
I definitely freaked out whenever I saw the beach setting and then he's walking and then I saw the shadow and the footsteps. I was like, oh my god, it's Crash! The face of PlayStation has returned!
Someone else returned. Mr. Kojima.
Yes.
Got a big ovation. He revealed a sort of teaser video of his new game that he's working on exclusively with PlayStation.
PT demo.
It's actually Norman Reedus is involved. Go figure. But it is not PT.
Right.
It is something entirely different. It's called Death Stranding, and
I don't know how I felt about it.
Well, it is. I saw that and I'm like, this is classic Kojima. It is like you don't know what's going on. He doesn't want you to know what's going on. But the way he's described the game, he said it is an action game. He goes, when he first made Metal Gear, he designed it to be action game where you hide. He said, now that style is called stealth. It didn't have a name when I made that style.
Yeah.
He goes, this is an action game. People who play action games are going to feel right at home. They're going to know exactly what they're doing. They're going to know exactly how they're playing. He goes, it's not until you're a couple hours in that you realize it's much more.
Right.
So...
basically, he's setting a nice tone for those that are in the action games, and then the story's gonna start to pull you in, and then you're gonna be
partnering with Norman's awesome, because I know Norman really wanted to work with him on PT or Silent Hills, and that fell through. When Norman posted a picture on Instagram of Kojima drinking tea and photoshopped Tears of Konami or Konami Tears on there. I'm really excited. That game is a long ways off, obviously. Yes. But the next thing they showed, Spider-Man.
I did not even know this was a thing.
I see this rumor has been going around. I've heard it for the last couple months. The rumor I heard, though, is that it was going to be Sucker Punch, the guys that made Infamous, making it. But it's Insomniac, the guys that made Ratchet and Clank.
Now, from what I gathered from this, it looks like... I mean, it's kind of its own thing, but I'm definitely seeing Spider-Man 2 influence in this thing greatly.
You have to go to that because it's going to have the cityscape. That's what I think of with Spider-Man 2. However, if they can make a Spider-Man game as good or as in-depth as the Arkham games, where you take the world of Batman and go, let's make one game and just make this an immersive Batman experience, and do that with Spider-Man, they have a winner. It's also exclusive to PS4.
Yes.
Not going to any other system, because Activision no longer owns the rights to do video games for Spider-Man.
Ooh.
It's gone. Marvel now has those rights. Marvel has decided to partner
with PlayStation.
Who owns the film rights for Spider-Man?
Sony. Huh.
So
Spider-Man Homecoming?
Well, see, here's the thing, is that I'm wondering if this wasn't part of the conversation, because Marvel's like, we would like to use Spider-Man,
Yeah.
And Sony's like, well, let's work out a deal. You have the video game rights. We own a video game company.
Let's go ahead and...
You know, we will release a Spider-Man game on our proprietary system. It's the only place where you can get it.
Yep.
Boom.
And with 40 million units sold.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Of course. Nintendo then, of course, revealed Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
It's what we knew it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm very disappointed that Nintendo really only wanted to release a very small amount of information of other things.
Well, okay, yes. I get it, though. I get it because they don't have too many things down the pipeline immediately, and they didn't want to muddle Zelda with there being too much hype for the NX. I think they want to do NX at a different day. I think they want to have that be its own event, its own big reveal, and because it's really confusing, their messaging. I actually do have an article up about the NX, sort of. Reggie said about the NX. They said it's going to be a technical powerhouse. However, they said when asked about how the NX was stacked up against the new hardware revisions for the PS4 Neo and Scorpio, Xbox Scorpio, he responded saying, for us, it's not about specs, it's not about teraflops, it's not about the horsepower of a particular system, for us, it's about the content. We're focused on bringing our best entertainment to both the Wii U and the NX in the future. For us, whatever Microsoft and Sony are doing in terms of talking about the new systems, that's for them to fight out in that red ocean. Then it goes on to say that they decided not to talk about it at this year's E3. They want to do it their own thing. So essentially, they're saying that look, we want to make a powerful console, but we don't want to get into a dick showing contest.
Which is classic Nintendo.
Yes, it is classic Nintendo.
They really don't care about, hey, we've got the most powerful unit out there. It's, hey, we're bringing you exclusive games, unique games. Mm-hmm. And, we're doing something new and innovative. That's Nintendo.
Zelda will be released in March of next year along with the NX on both NX and Wii U. One thing I read about that is that the game will be completely playable on the Wii U Pro controller.
Oh, that's cool.
You don't even need the gamepad.
That's cool.
And so what that tells me is that they thought about, do we innovate with the gamepad with Zelda, or do we focus on the gameplay?
Well, that's another question with the NX. Mm-hmm. It means it's going to have its own controller, basically a Pro controller.
Or you're going to be able to use whatever proprietary controls the NX has,
right?
Because they've said this is the exact same experience on the Wii U, on the NX. It's the same experience. So that being said, like they had to make it to where the gamepad, which has a touchscreen, they couldn't have exclusive features,
right?
Unless if the NX couldn't do it. So
exactly. So that kind of makes you think maybe the NX doesn't have those features.
It doesn't have it, or maybe it doesn't rely on it. And maybe you can do it, but based on those one screens of it being a weird sort of oval big screen.
Right.
And maybe it's like that, but maybe they were like, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on making this thing play. A couple other announcements that kind of slittered out throughout the couple days here. Nothing too big here. Nothing like. One thing I do want to bring a mention to at the end though, because I want to get your gut reaction.
Yeah, because I don't know about it.
Pokemon Go out in July.
That's the real.
That's that one phone.
Time.
Yeah, real time.
That looks. I'm not a Pokemon player, but man, that's cool.
It is free to play.
That's good.
So there's probably gonna be some stuff you can buy in it to have them make some money off of it.
The only issue with that is if I want to go get a Mewtwo, where do I have to go for a Mewtwo?
It has a wrist, peripheral or a wrist thing that you can buy.
Yeah.
Where for $35, where you don't even have to use your phone, you can just use your wrist, and then it's like a little touch thing on your wrist.
Does it show that?
Kind of like a smartwatch. Yes, kind of like a smartwatch.
So it has a actual screen there on it and everything.
Yeah. Huh. Paper Mario Color Splash, Wii U, coming out this year. Oh, dude, it looked fun.
Did it?
Yes. And the graphics looked awesome. I loved how they...
Color Splash. That's a new entry. That's not the one where they have the 3-dimensional Mario and the 2-dimensional.
No. That was Paper Mario and Luigi meet Paper Mario. Or something like that. Where like they did something together. This is a new Wii U Paper Mario Color Splash. Its release is on October 7th. Of this year.
I didn't even know that was going on here.
Watch the trailer if you ever get a chance. Watch the trailer. It looks a lot of fun. It looks like old school Paper Mario RPG with some new stuff kind of thrown in that kind of shakes it up. The last thing I want to talk about, because they didn't have a whole lot of stuff.
No.
Ever Oasis.
Ever Oasis.
A new action.
Is this my gut reaction here?
Yes.
Okay.
New action RPG by the Secret of Mana creator.
What? Really? Ooh.
So the creator of the Mana series has created a new action RPG for
3DS? New 3DS? Well, 3DS.
It's for 3DS.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And
I saw the trailer and it looks it's an action RPG that reminded me a little bit of Mana. So I mean, and it's new and.
Okay, so one thing we didn't get to mention,
huh?
The Modern Warfare trailer.
Oh, we did. Yeah, I noticed I didn't write that down.
Yeah, I know because you don't care.
No,
I
do apologize for that, and for anybody who is a Call of Duty fan, I didn't write that down because it didn't really speak to me. Advanced Warfare, that was shown during PlayStation?
Yes.
Okay.
So, when I was watching it at first, I had no idea what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually was excited until they mentioned it was Call of Duty. And then I was like, oh. But I'm hoping that if the game stays that way, I mean, it's a space fighter. You can fly in the jets. I mean, what else can you do? It has the battle menu where you choose to support specific people. Help, I don't know. I want to see what it is. I want to play it because as you know, I was a long-time Call of Duty player through 3-4 entries and full max prestige, the whole 9. And I want to see it. It looks fun. It looks new. It looks fresh. Even though I've really steered away from Call of Duty in the last 3.
Yeah, man, you've done good staying away from it.
I have.
And I have done good staying away from the wrestling titles.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, we've been clean. I still go to meetings sometimes. So
I've only been clean for 2 years, though.
Yeah.
Ghost.
I the last game I bought for wrestling was 2K14, which got released in 13.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, so, I saw it, and pretty much, from what I've been gathering, from what people have been saying, they feel like if this trailer was shown first, maybe it wouldn't have got so much hate.
Yes.
But the one thing that I will notice just from an outsider, someone who doesn't play this stuff, it is very different from what Battlefield 1 is offering.
It is, and that's good. It's good.
To me, for people who are interested in this, they're going to get it. For people who want that old school war type, they're going to go for Battlefield 1.
Well, you got to also look at what's going to be packaged.
Okay, because
one of the games that most Call of Duty guys want back.
Right, but then the gut reaction is that a lot of people aren't willing to buy I call it Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare.
Damn Warfares. Anyway, they're not willing to purchase that just to get Modern Warfare.
Well, the problem is it's not. Hey, man, if you buy this game for $60, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's hey, you have to pay $80.
And then the season pass.
Well,
okay, you don't have to get the season pass to get Modern Warfare. I want to state that.
Right.
But if you're going to be a serious Call of Duty player, you have to get the season pass, which is another, how much is it? Is it 50? Oh my God.
It's usually 40 or $50. Yeah. And you know what? Every time I purchase one, I bought it. I bought it every time.
Do you play all the maps?
You know what? On Ghost, I played the Friday the 13th one, the Jason one, and turned into Jason because that's all I really cared about. And went around and hacked people up, and then I was like, that was cool. I'm really over the Call of Duties because it's the same game over and over and over again.
I tried out Advanced Warfare when I got the Advanced Warfare system for the Xbox.
Yeah, it's me.
Well, and the thing is that I sort of feel that way about most FPSs.
You're an FPS guy.
No,
and I am. So
we'll see. And throughout the years, there's been ones that I've really liked and ones that, to me, it's hard for me to start discerning between games when you have so many different styles.
Right.
I'm sure you could sit here and tell me how Battlefield is totally different from Call of Duty.
I hate Battlefield.
Right. You know how I can tell you that? I can't. Because they look the same to me.
See, to me, the Battlefield's cool because it's a larger, like, home front. It's a large battlefield, and there's a lot more downtime. Call of Duty is fast paced. There's stuff going on close to you all the time. Battlefield, if you're a sniper, you might crawl on your belly for half the game to get somewhere and not be seen, and then get your massive kill streak. But you're gonna be pushing and crawling, and I'm more of it needs to be happening, like more hectic fighting.
See, I can't tell you that because to me, that gameplay style, I understand one's quicker, but the game to me plays the same.
Yeah, I'm horrible at Battlefield because I want to stand up and run, and then you ping, and you get picked off.
And then like okay, so I played Fallout, and I played most of Fallout in first person. When I played Fallout 3, I switched back and forth a lot. But when I played Fallout 4, I tried doing third person. I hated it, so I just went to first person all the time.
I mean, for someone like you, like a game like that, it helps. Like Borderlands. Borderlands is a great way to put it out there. It's Call of Duty-ish. You can see it gets a lot of style from it, but it's still Borderlands. And Borderlands is not anything to do with Call of Duty. And you feel like it's a fun RPG FPS. And you have a lot of fun with it because you're not just running around and shooting people like you are in Call of Duty. Call of Duty is you shoot somebody, you go to the next person, shoot them, you go to the next person. The other one, you're actually like, okay, there's this giant thing after me, you got to move around. You know what I mean? You have to negotiate it. I think that's where you get lost. Same old thing over and over.
This has been our E3 discussion, and pretty much I'm out of notes. I got nothing else to say. Honestly, I liked the stuff I liked. I pretty much liked the Xbox conference for the most part. I think PlayStation also had a very strong conference. I think out of all the conferences, those two are the best. EA was the worst, and I mean other than Nintendo, who's disqualified for not even having one this year. But EA was pretty bad. I kind of thought it was going to be, but it was really boring. Bethesda was a little bit better because it was a little bit more focused. But I was really excited about most of what Microsoft was doing. They showed a lot of exclusive stuff. So did PlayStation, to be fair. Resident Evil really excited me because that's something brand new and refreshing to that series. I didn't really care about the FF15 stuff that they showed at either press conference. Gears of War looks like more Gears. God of War looks cool, but we won't see it for a while. I'll have to wait and see what else is going to be revealed about Days Gone By. There wasn't nearly enough Mass Effect for me. I'm going to have to say my game of the show is South Park.
Really?
Yeah. I really liked Stick of Truth. This is more of that plus more. And that trailer had me rolling when I first watched it.
Yeah.
It cracked me up. And then just to see that it is they're not just taking the same engine and bringing it forward, they're adding some tactics to it. And
they're building on
yes.
something that they had that is great.
And they're not overly changing it.
Right.
They're just saying, we want it, here's Stick of Truth, we want it here. And it's like, that's awesome.
Yeah, you know, for me, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot out there.
A lot of
Dishonored
people,
was a very large surprise. I knew it was there. I knew what was going on.
A lot of people are saying Zelda is like, even though Nintendo didn't have a press conference, Zelda's their game.
See, Zelda, we knew we already had it at E3 last year. We already knew what we were getting. They already showed some gameplay, but they didn't show. To
be fair, a lot of people who are saying that are people who played it.
Okay, well, I did not.
There's also some people who are saying that their event of the show was the porn booth for the VR.
Well,
there are pictures of people at the porn booth, and then they're being. So apparently, it is the longest line at E3.
Is that the one where they've got the person wearing
no.
And he squeezes some
no,
on his chest?
No. You just wore the VR and got to see what first person porn looked like.
No,
I wonder if they do have a male and female version of that.
I bet they have to.
That'd be weird.
But I guarantee though it's primarily male.
Oh come on, yeah.
Come on, I mean.
At the end of our podcast here, we started doing this. I think it's episode 2, or maybe we did it episode 1. I don't remember. Where we like to what
suggestions?
Yes, do some suggestions. Did we start with one?
I'm pretty sure.
I can't. You know what? It's been so long since then. I can't remember. But I do remember what my first suggestion was. I don't remember what the second one was. So I'm hoping I don't say it again.
Mm-hmm. We'll find out.
Yeah, maybe. Do you have a suggestion?
I do, and it's actually the game I'm currently obsessed with.
Final Fantasy Explorers?
Final Fantasy Explorers.
Awesome.
Yeah, I picked it out, and you like that kind of style where you have to, it's a lot of farming, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with one. I was sitting here trying to think during the last conversation while you were talking about Call of Duty, and I'm like, what would I say if I had to suggest something? Something kind of off the wall, because I didn't want to just say, Uncharted 4, because I already said that earlier. I said that earlier. I said it's awesome, so of course you're going to think that I should suggest Uncharted 4, and I do, but I'm trying to think of something, since you said something new, I'm trying to think of something old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
you know what? I'm going to say this one, because there's some early groundwork here for me to buy this game. Don't know when I'm going to be able to do it, or even if I'm going to be able to do it. It's a game I don't own.
So you've seen gameplay.
I played it.
Oh.
I played it when I was a kid. And it's a game that Rob is really jealous about if I get. Our good friend Silent Rob.
Yes.
Okay, so I told him about this game. It's somebody that I've recently come to know and happened to tell me that they have this game. And I was like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I love that game. And then recently told me, oh yeah, I went and found it. It still works. And my dad's making me sell it. And I went, really?
I know what game it is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Demon's Crest. Super Nintendo. Demon's Crest, of course, that is a sort of a spin-off of Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts. One of those you play this, you fight against the demon. I can never remember which one's which. One's Nintendo, one's Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I can never remember which one's which because I get them confused. But anyway, guys, this has been the Game Addicts Podcast. We have gone not 2 hours, 47 minutes. We've sort of shot through this pretty quick, thankfully, for how much we had to cover. So, thanks for coming on the show, Mike.
I am co-host. So.
You are co-host, so you do kind of have to be. Well, you weren't last time, so thank you for coming back and doing this episode with me. Fortunately, Wes couldn't be here. We hope we can get him on next time. We can shoot the crap about Uncharted and whatever, and maybe get some of his takes on E3. Maybe we'll do that within a couple weeks or a month here. That way we can
review.
Well, not do a re-review, but just kind of like not go through everything like we did, but like ask Wes what was the stuff that you really liked. And,
yeah.
Then we can maybe just sort of like shoot it off of him. It'll be almost kind of like a part deux. Part deux. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to Game Addicts. Thank you for listening to this episode of Journey to Comics, which sort of crossed over a little bit. And thank you for subscribing on YouTube, following us on iTunes for Journey to Comics. I got to do like double the plugs here. So
double the fun.
It is double the pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Obviously at the porn booth.
No kidding. At the porn booth. Double the pleasure because you have two different things. Like the resolutions crossed for each eye. It's double the resolution, double the fun. Double the fun here with two podcasts crossing over. Thank you for subscribing and commenting. If you tell us what you liked about E3. Tell us if you thought any of our reviews sucked. Tell us what you liked about our reviews. Tell us if you liked this episode. And we will see you next time on the Game Addicts Podcast for episode 5, on the Journey to Comics episode 103. Until next time, this has been Brando and
Zulog. Retro style. Retro Z. Retro Zulog.
This has been Mike.
I gotta make it confused. I gotta fun.
Yeah. You know what? This has been fun.
It's been a good episode. Anyways, this is Mike, and thanks. Subscribe, comment.
Yeah, all that stuff. All that
fun stuff.
Yeah. And we'll see you later.